When we can utilize technology, we can really provide personalized resources, information. When I was young, my mom is obese, and she's now 85 years old. And then she was obese, and then she had diabetes. So I was always interested in nutrition and to see how I can help her. So that was kind of my motivation. And so when I was going into college, I was very interested in how nutrition and it works in the body. So that's how I chose nutrition as my major. And then I came here for graduate study. So I did a master's degree and a PhD in nutrition at MSU. While I was finishing up my PhD, I had a family kind of loss. My nephew died in an accident, and at that time I was in the States and my family's in Korea. So I want to really comfort my sister. So I thought, maybe I'll create a group support site for my sister and the people who lost their loved ones. And that time it was 1999, and there was not any social media like Facebook. So I learned HTML skills. So I want to create a website. So that's my exposure to use technology. So I created a website, and that was open to people in Korea, so they could kind of message each other, comfort each other. And then while I was doing it, I thought, now I finished my PhD, maybe I need to utilize my own expertise too. So I thought, maybe I can combine my knowledge in health and technology. And then for obesity, think about obesity and chronic disease. We need to really help people change their behavior and get knowledge. So I thought, maybe I want to use technology to educate people. I understand our technology, how I can help with the people. So that time I saw dietitian. I have lots of dietitians. So here in the USA. So when they work with patients, mostly everything they do is just a manual. They get some the data on food intake and exercise, whatever they get from patients, they enter in the computer system, spending lots of time for analyzing. So they don't really spend the time providing counseling. So I thought, what if we can automate? So I developed an application for health professionals in the US. So then they can connect much better with individuals. So the concept is users enter data about what they eat, and then coaches, health professionals like nutritionists, they collect the data, automatic data, and then analysis of it. And then now they don't have to do the analyzing data, so they can just provide a counseling. But when we can utilize technology, we can really provide personalized resources, information. So when it's Asian Americans, we can provide services fine-tuned for them, even in their language. So technology, when we can utilize really good, it could be really diverse and comprehensive. It could include all population, regardless of age and ethnicity. So I'm very excited about that, how technology could really crack healthcare from now on. So for me, do you know, even I am Asian American, I did not really see it's a weakness of Asian Americans. But then while I was in business, I realized, wow, I don't have any connections, right? I studied here long enough, but I have connections in a research area. It's my American friends, they know research on it, but I didn't have any connection in industry. So usually I found when you do business, B2B, when you connect to hospitals, when you connect to other organizations, it starts with some connections, kind of getting referrals, so I get introduced to it. So that part I did not know anyone, so that was very hardest part. So even though our technology platform was presented at the national level, dietitians, they say, oh, this is the best solution that connects health coaches with individuals. but then like we didn't have a name power, I think. So even like we get good results from our case study. So when we actually want to work with the big hospitals or companies, because they're a small company, we did not get an opportunity. So that kind of stuff was very hard. Like as a small company, how do we do it? And then as I was like a foreign-born Asian American woman, I don't have any connections. How do I get into? And even, do you know, like investment, a lot of these technology companies, they get lots of investment from investors. Our competitors in our space, like big ones, they raised more than $200 million for their technology companies. But for us, for them, maybe they have really good connections, lots of different people, so they were able to raise more funding. But mostly in the statistics, the woman, they get maybe less investment compared to men. And then also the color of people, they get even less funding. So I tried to raise some funding, but it was a lot of process involved. So I did not. So for me, my thing was that's what harder. Others raise tons of money, but we don't have a lot of money. But then how do we really get into market? It's limitations in funding. But luckily, for me, I have my skills in nutrition and health, and then also technology skills. So we are able to really work in a very small team, but very efficient. So right now, we are kind of doing as a stretch mode. No one really knows us yet, but experts know us, and then we are also expanding in different our areas. So I'm excited about it. So lots of hurdles you cannot even think of. But it's an exciting area that I can make an impact on others' lives. So that's how I could stay in. Innovation, and then also some mission driven. So for me, when I started my business, it was not to make money. I did not know about the business at all. It was my own mission that I want to really help others. If I did not have any accident of my loss of my nephew, maybe I was thinking of doing my own work, be a really good scientist. That was my thing. But then after that, that changed my whole perspective in life. I wanted something good for others. So that was the thing I want to really change others so they could really manage their chronic disease, utilizing my expertise. The MSU, they are very strong in agriculture. So you will see cows in the farm area, right? So they make their own ice cream. So food science building was right next to it. So when I was doing research and then I was really burnt out, I go out to their store and have ice cream. So especially health area, knowing a different set of skills, it's really good, technology. I don't mean coding, HTML coding or anything. Just any programs, if they can utilize really well, I think that's an addition. And then also having some interesting opportunities while you are at the school, because you don't know your a passion or what you really like when you are just doing schoolwork only. Because for me, I didn't even know I like technology while I was doing my PhD. I just did research. I was oh, okay, this is my area. But when I got exposed to technology, I was oh my gosh, this is really good. I really learned more and more. So I want a student kind of get exposed to different areas and find your own really interest, what you like. So then when you are in the field, you will excel because you're doing it because you like it. You don't want to just warm up the chair in the workplace. You can just work really above and then beyond. So try to find some skills that you like to add.